So, some of you know me. I'm Dana, and this is Tom. So I'm a technician based in Sinclair, cell molecular biology and microbiology.
Environmental sciences, analytical sciences.
So yeah, we're both technicians based in Sinclair. We're here to talk to you today about these organisations and how they can help you to raise your profile and safeguard your vital technical skills. So before I go any further, I just want to say that everything we're going to talk about today applies to anyone with a technical role. It's not just people with technicians in their job title, like me and Tom. Anyone who has any technical jobs in their day-to-day role. So I'm going to first talk about HEATED, Higher Education and Technicians Educational Development, which is quite a mouthful. How many of you have heard of HEATED before? A few of you.
From you.
How many of you know that Brookes has institutional membership? So a few of you, but probably from me again. So this means that we actually get a lot of discounts on courses, and some events are actually free as well. So it's really important to know that we can do that through Brookes. So what is HEATED? They provide professional development and networking opportunities for people like us in higher education. These are some of the things here that they can provide. So there are local courses. They're across the country, but they do a lot around Oxford, because I've already looked and been on some of them. They do anything from teaching courses, leadership and management courses, courses on risk assessment, Photoshop, gene expression, Python coding. So the range is quite broad about the courses they do. If they don't have a course and you would be interested in doing something, you can email them and they will look into setting up this course for you. All of this counts to CPD activities. They also do network events. So back in May, I think it was May? About that time. Me and Tom went to Oxford University for their network event. And it was an absolutely brilliant day. We came back, we were so enthusiastic, and some of you know we couldn't stop talking about it. And it's where we found out about a lot of this information. So there's going to be one this year, and I recommend it to everybody in this room. It's a fantastic day. I don't yet know where it's going to be, but it will be within our region. They provide information on professional registration, which Tom's going to talk to you about in a minute. They look to set up internal networks within the university for technicians. So we're in contact with, what's his name, Sue, who is our regional manager for HEATED, and he's talking to us about setting up a network and how we can go about setting up so that we can talk to people from different faculties who are in a technical role. He's also talking to us about organising a larger event later on in the year where HEATED, a representative from HEATED and the Science Council can all come and talk to us further about these things. There is an online community, so you can go on there and post questions, and there's online modules as well, which are free, that you can do. So why would we do this? Well, there's a real demand for technicians with qualifications and technical skills, because we're really important to the university. We're all behind the scenes people, and without us, a lot of things would probably go wrong. We're often called upon to learn new things as practicals change, there's new technology. We really have to keep up to date with our skills. And also, people who are involved in their development are supposedly better at their job. So that's always a great thing. And finally, if you want to become professionally registered, you will need to continue your professional development as well. So some of the things that you can do right now. You can go onto their website and sign up. This means you'll get regular updates, you'll be able to look at the courses online, book other courses, and you'll also be able to put in that you're from Oxford Brookes and you'll get a discount. You can check out their Twitter, there's always great things on there. There's magazines, we've got a couple of magazines over here for you to have a look at later. They basically show how other universities are promoting the technician commitment and heated and things like that. Lastly, I'd say make use of your PDR. I know it's a bit of a chore every year, but if you're sitting there going, well, I don't know what to put, go on the heated website, have a look at what courses they're providing, maybe think, right, I want to do one of those, and put it down in your PDR. Now, if you're sitting here thinking, I already do these things, or I'd really like to do these things, but perhaps you don't feel like you're being recognised for your skills. As a technician, as I already said, we're very much behind the scenes. So I'm going to introduce you now to the technician commitment. How many of you heard of the technician commitment? A few of you, that's good. Probably through us again. And how many of you know that Brookes signed up to the technician commitment in September? Very few of you. Well, it did. So what is the technician commitment? Well, it's a sector-wide initiative led by the Science Council, supported by institutions like HEFKE, the MRC, that we've probably all heard of. It has been supported by 61 universities. We're on the list here somewhere. Oxford Brookes. So 61 universities have signed up to this commitment already. Basically, the technician commitment is a pledge to tackle these issues for people in the technical role. Visibility. We might not always get seen because we do a lot of the work that nobody notices. We set up practicals, the students don't see that we do that work. So what we've done already, we've created this little handout. It lists all the technicians in our team, contact details, where to find us. It also lists out what equipment people can book from us and our areas of expertise. So if someone has a question, they know exactly who to go to. Recognition, again, we don't always get recognised for our skills. We can look at going through professional registration, and again, Tom will talk to you about that in a minute. Career development. Now, I know for us, you're a technician, and that's it. There's no up or down, there's no sideways either, it's just you're a technician. And sustainability, utilising our skills. So we're looking at, we want to do more collaborations with different faculties. So I had an art student last summer, we did a great project, and we want to do more of that. So the things you can do now, have a look at their website. There's technician stories, they're great to read, have a look through them. Check out their Twitter, and we have a mailing list which is up on the board there. So if you want updates, let us know.
Over to me. Thank you. So as Dan said, I'm going to just be giving a quick introduction into professional registration. Basically what it is, what it means, why you would want to do it, it's provided through certain bodies, and the one I'm going to be talking predominantly is the Science Council, because that's most relevant to us, but there are other ones available. The Engineering Council, the Institution of Engineering and Technology, which I also know is soon to become the Institution of Engineering, Technology and Arts, because one of the key driving forces behind HEATED is that it includes everyone, and that's why we wanted to extend invitations to other faculties and other departments today to show that it is institution-wide, it is complete sector coverage. Moving on from that, looking at the benefits of registration. Why would you want to do it? It's a way to show your competency. It's a way to gain influence in the skills that you have and what you can do with that moving forward. But first and foremost, it is about recognition. It is recognition of what you do, what you can achieve, and it is it's for you to be able to take that forward, either within your current institution or if you are going elsewhere. It's a way to say that I've proved this, I've got these skills, I've maintained them, I'm learning about new stuff all the time, and so you can take that with you wherever you go. So as I mentioned, the Science Council, that's one of the major players in this, but there are others. And there are levels of registration that you can achieve. As they're listed there, registered science technician, registered scientist, and there's science teachers. There's a full gamut of what is capable and what you can apply for. And a couple of examples at the bottom of ones that the other organisations do. The ICT Tech, for example, just shows that it is wide-ranging and includes everyone. Okay. So how do you go about it? First thing is you have to choose a professional body. And then once you've done that, I'll talk about professional bodies in a second. Once you've done that, you have a competency report to complete. And that is, you are asked a certain amount of questions and you have to show how you achieve these questions, how you achieve what they want to see in their professionally registered people, in your day-to-day job and within your own personal development. And then once you have achieved your registration, we go on to CPD, Continuing Professional Development, and I'll come back to that at the end of the presentation. So looking at the professional bodies first, there's a huge amount, and there's loads that signed up. There's loads on the Heated website that says they're linked. We're linked with all these, and on the Science Council website, we're linked with all these institutions, professional bodies. The Royal Society of Chemistry is the one that is most relevant to me because I'm working environmental chemistry predominantly. What was the body you chose?
I went into the IST.
IST. But there's others. There's the Royal Society of Biology. There's a full list. There's some leaflets over on the table here, and there's a lot listed on there, but again, they're on the website as well. There is a cost to joining, as there is with all sorts of professional registration bodies. Anywhere between £35 and £100. As the university is implementing the whole technician commitment, there's obviously scope to hopefully get some funding from the university to help with this project. I do know that the university doesn't pay for professional registration for academics, so it would be a case of that would be your own cost, but it is very cheap in it, and the benefits you gain through it is worth the cost. So moving on from that, once you've chosen which body you want to be a part of, you go on to your competency report. And there are a series of questions that is, I don't want to put you off, but it's almost like a job interview, job application where you say, I do this in my job and I've met it through this, I did this to improve how it works, I did this to make sure that the students were lacking from said skill, for example, so I changed it to this. Help is provided at every stage. They will constantly be asking if you need help with your application. They'll give you examples of the questions and examples of how you can answer the questions, as it's shown here. This is one of them. And Dana, I think you're going to say how Dana has completed her application before Christmas.
Yes.
And currently waiting, so.
So for this one, it wants to know how you've learnt a new technique. So for me, that was tissue culture, that I've never done that before. So I basically wrote down what I did, how I learned to do tissue culture, through practice, through some help from my line manager. I talked about the difficulties. I found it hard to pick up the terminology, the complicated names of the media. So I just talked about that generally. Next question. And this wants to know a bit more about problem solving. So the problem that I had was timetabling with our new lab space. So I just talked about what solutions I came up with and proposing them to the module leaders and how we agreed a solution to it.
So that's examples of how Dana filled out her competency report, but underneath each question, this is what is on the competency report as a guide to help you with thinking about what you can put down as an example. And as I said, that help is provided at every stage, and if you're stuck, then just contact them. They're very helpful people when we've contacted them at every stage. So you've completed your report, you've sent it off. You need to choose someone who would support your application, someone who can confirm the work that you do, someone who so you work with an academic if you're setting up laboratory technician, if you're setting up lab practicals, for example, is a good an example. Once they've done that, they send off their own report just to clarify what you've said, and then you can either have assessment face-to-face or online, and then it takes 2-ish months, 2 to 3 months, I think the website says. They'll assess your application and then let you know if you've been successful or what you might need to add just to put you right over the edge, depending on which level of registration you've chosen to apply for. And after that, once you've been successful, you sign up to the CPD standard, the Registrant Code of Conduct, and that's just so that it's the Science Council or the other bodies can say, you know, our applicants have achieved certain levels and they're striving to achieve continuing development in their work. And that kind of brings us on to continuing professional development. A lot of CPD, it sounds daunting. A lot of it is what you do in your day-to-day role anyway. If for example, for myself, if a new practical comes down the line, it's something that, I'm not 100% sure how to do that. So you'll look up online, you'll go to textbooks, you might go, so I can achieve it this way, I'm going to do this and try it with this equipment that I've got, and then, I haven't got the right equipment, I'll have to look up and online, see what equipment I need to get to be able to achieve it. That's CPD. It's continuous things, any training sessions you attend, any volunteering, mentoring, any just general reading around your subject. If there's a new journal that comes out and you go, that's pretty interesting, that's continuing professional development. And as you go through the year, you record what you do, and after every year, your professional body that you've chosen will contact you and say, it's time for renewal of your professional registration, what have you been up to? And then they will guide you through the process of just doing it again. You don't have to fill out a competency report or anything like that. Just say, I've been developing this way, this is how my career has changed over this period of time. And there's the benefits of it as well. Obviously, as part of our role in sciences, we're always developing, we're always changing, there's always new things to learn. So again, just doing it in your day-to-day job is doing what they require to maintain your registration. And because it's not written down, you must do this, you must do that, you can do it at your own pace, you can choose what you want to do. And you have a certain career path in mind that you want to take. You can say, I'm doing it this way, and that's how I've achieved it. So you can mould it to your own image of how you want your career to progress. And that's covered everything. I think there's lots of leaflets. Help yourself to the ones along the back there. Have a look. Any questions that you've got, we're obviously sticking around for the next 35 minutes. If you want to have a chat amongst your own departments, faculties, if people have done it, Dana's done the registration, you can ask questions, grill her on that.
The lunch, don't forget.
And the food. Go to the food.
Thank you very much, Tom.
Okay.
Food.
I don't have a question, but what I will say is, as someone who's been recently applying for jobs, there's on all applications now, there's a section where they ask you to record professional organisations that you're a member of, and as part of the interview, particularly when you have a competency test or part of the application, like you just said, it's part of what you do every day is just putting it into words. But I think something like HEAT and the feeding out into all these other professional bodies would be hugely beneficial for career long term and also development and going forward.
It shows that you're investing in yourself
Absolutely.
continuously.
Of your own volition.
Yes.
Self-motivated, self-starter. Absolutely.